All right. So I want to start very basic here, Catherine. What are the basic elements of an estate plan?
Great question. Start right from the ground up. An estate plan is a collection of legal documents where you make your end of life decisions and where you designate your distribution of your assets. And there are four main documents in a family estate plan. The first is a revocable trust. The second is pour over wills for you or you and your spouse if it's a family estate plan. And the third and fourth are a power of attorney for both of you, an advanced healthcare directive for both of you.
Okay. So can you talk to me a little about each of these documents and what they're designed to do? Why these documents?
Yeah, absolutely. The trust is the most important. A trust is a legal entity where you hold all your titled assets, your home, your bank accounts, sometimes even your cars. They should be owned by your trust. Anything that's owned by your trust completely skips probate.
Okay.
And that's trust. For your pour over will, that's your safety net. So we want all of our assets to skip probate, but the pour over will is your safety net that says that anything that's still owned in your individual name, it pours into your trust. It's also where you outline what you want your guardianship to look like if you have kids. Um, Wills have to be probated, but so thinking about your estate plan, if you have a simple will, it's not the most effective way to do everything, but it does point the direction for all your assets to go.
Okay.
Okay, so those are the first two.
Mhm.
Where a will and a trust really come into play when once you've passed away, the power of attorney and advanced healthcare directive really come into play while you're still alive, but you've become incapacitated for some reason. You may have cancer, or you may have some form of dementia or Alzheimer's, or you may have gotten a car accident and you have a traumatic brain injury, right? So if you're incapacitated, your advanced healthcare directive allows you to name an agent to make your medical decisions for you,
Mhm.
um, since you can't. It's also where you outline your end of life care wishes. Your power of attorney is similar to an advanced healthcare directive. You name an agent to be able to make your legal and financial decisions for you if you become incapacitated. Now, both
Mhm.
those expire when you pass away, but they're very, very, very valuable to have while you're still living so that people can help you with all aspects of your life while you're going through a hard time.
Yeah, that's great. And to that advanced healthcare directive, I think a lot of us think that if we're married, our spouse just automatically can make decisions for us in our health if something were to happen to us, right? And I believe that's a common misconception because you need that advanced healthcare directive, even for a husband and wife relationship. Say a situation arises where something happens to me and my wife needs to make a medical decision for me. That advanced care directive allows for that, correct?
Right. And it really streamlines the process because
Mhm.
what you have is, maybe worst comes to worst and something happens to you, Clayton, and your wife has to make some big decisions. And oftentimes the living will portion of the advanced healthcare directives where you outline where what you want your end of life care to look like. If you haven't
Sure.
already designated that somehow, then the weight of putting that on a loved one can sometimes be quite overwhelming. So they wouldn't be doing
Mhm.
what you want them to do. They're doing what
Mhm.
they would like to do and probably keep you alive in maybe a situation where you wouldn't have wanted to be,
Yeah.
right? And so if you lay it out, then you remove that burden from a loved one.
Mm.
So they can just say, I'm doing what Clayton wanted me to do.
Yeah. Well, that's good perspective. That's awesome.
Yeah.